welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, I am Foxy Artist, and in today's video I am going to be doing something different. And different as in I'm going to be telling you guys how I wrote these books and published them and made a paperback copy. Also made a Kindle version. In this video, I will try to tell you guys how I did all of this. I'm not sure if I can do it in the video this long, but if I could, that's great. If I can't, I might make 2 parts, but I kind of hate making part 2, so we might just stick with one. Anyways, I am generally a painter, a artist, you could say so. I draw, I paint. This whole channel is art and up until now, I guess. But a lot of you guys didn't know my art lore, if I could say so myself, is that I started writing before I started drawing. I was interested in writing sort of fantasy books, dystopian books or action books before I decided to switch to art entirely and then forget all about my books. And now I am back, and I finally written the 2 books that I have had in mind for generations. So, without further ado, let's get into step 1, which is how we make the actual book and how I got the ideas to write it. So, let's get started. Websites I use for all of this are very super easy and accessible to everyone, and if my computer can open, I will let you guys know. Here is the app that I use called Docs. This is where I wrote Heartless Game of Chess, this one, and where I wrote Kenny Within the Fear Stars, this one. Other than this app, I do use the Kindle, which you can download it. I'll tell you how it gets downloaded soon, but this is how I make the actual Kindle form of the book. And well, we get rid of that, and then you can go up here to preview it. Look at that. Very nice. Hello. Hello. Here you go. Oh, it literally says here we go again. Wow. Chapter 1, and then it tells you all the chapter. Oh, I after how I got to the Kindle, I wrote the actual book on Docs. I downloaded it and then put it into this, and right away it put it into sections for me. And then you can go in and fix it yourself if you want to, and then add whatever you want to add the font you want to add, like anything. And yeah, I did this for both books, and then after I did that, I saved it and put it onto Amazon KDP so that I could also sell ebooks, which is Kindle books as well. Other than Docs and Kindle, I also use Amazon KDP, which is obviously how I published this book, and I use Pinterest a lot for inspiration pictures, for character pictures, and such. I also, when I wrote Canyon Within the Fear Stars, I wrote it on a paper form, like I had notebooks filled, like I wrote it by hand, the actual story, before I put it on. But in Heartless Game of Chess, I did not want to waste that much paper, so I decided to do it on here. If you get that, then we are good. Now, let us go to how I came up with the story and why I have 2 documents. One of the actual draft and one of the ideas document. Same here. One final draft and one ideas. Let's go. So most of you probably if you're watching this, already have an idea for the book, and maybe you even have the actual final draft. And if you do, great. But for the people who don't have the idea and have not written the final draft yet and are looking to know how to write it or where to start, this is for you. Go to my Heartless Game of Chess draft document. I do 2 documents. I don't like to do more than 2. Like I said, one is the final draft where I write, rewrite, keep writing, write again, like I do. Obviously, I'm not a super like poetic author, or I don't really do that much. I just want to write my book and I want to read it. And yeah, not too serious, okay? If you're like a very serious author and you're judging me, then maybe you don't. Maybe don't and don't watch this video. But yeah, here I like to write a bunch of things. First, I like to write what the idea for the actual book will be. And this is where creativity helps the most. And I'm not sure how to help you with that. I think many times you've had dreams of like this fantasy life, or you're part of this world, or you've watched animes or TV shows or dramas where you feel like, oh, if I made this story, it would be like this, or if I had my story, it would be like this. So that could be your idea starter. Or if you had such a crazy idea, like changing or making a game a real life or death game and having dystopian elements in it and knight horses and kings and evil villains. Or if you're interested in mermaids, you can make a mermaid fantasy. Or if you're interested in fairies, you could do fairies. Just write what you're interested in and choose, for now, one of those things, and then start off with that. After you get the idea of the whole story, obviously you have to get the characters, and the most important are the main character. It could be your main character could be a female, or your main character could be a male, or any other. It could be a dog, to be honest. Like, it could be anything you want it to be. And for my case, my main character is a female named Canyon, if you don't already know. And I have a couple characters in between. I have a main lead. I have the main lead's brother, their parents, the main lead's parents, and the female lead's parents as well. I have the villain, and if you want to make a really fun story, I really recommend adding a villain into it. You don't have to, but there's lots of stories where villains could make or break the book. And for me, I made such horrible villains. I also made lots of, what could I say? I made a lot of side characters, and side characters could be important. You could, let's say, give, what's it called? A side character lots of more meaning. Maybe you can take that side character and put them in the next book, or make them the main character of the next book. It could help you develop the story further than you've ever thought you could. And I always like and recommend adding more characters than you initially thought you could. Obviously, don't add way too much that people would get confused on who is who. Keep the focus on the main lead, or 2 characters or 3 characters, like at most, I would say. After figuring out the characters, their names, their sort of personalities, even their physical appearance, you write that all down. And if you can, I like to go on Pinterest and find images that are closest to what I want my character to look like. And this is just for you and making your writing more detailed on that. Obviously, if you are a reader, lots of writers like to picture their own characters, but I do think that you have to have a vision in mind before you can even write the story in the first place. And this is what I did. Here I made mood boards on Pinterest of the characters. This drawing I did not draw, but this drawing I did, and this drawing I did as well. And that's when being a artist comes in handy. So for Canyon, this is the vibe I wanted. I wanted her to have sort of short hair, not too short. I wanted her to have like dark features and look like she has been through trauma, because she has. And I wanted her to be a strong FMC, so I took lots of pictures of her with like weapons and looking strong and mighty. Here is the other character. His name is Elias. He is the brother of Nakoski, and in this I wanted him to look very mature, as an older brother should. No spoilers, because I hope you guys are going to read my book, but he is very protective and he would do anything for his family. No spoilers, but yes, I'm like holding in these spoilers for my life. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about him. And then here is the main male lead, named Nakoski. He is an islander prince, obviously. So I wanted to give him this islander prince vibe. Very like, he looks like he would be funny and teasing, and that is exactly what I wanted him to look like in the drawing and in the reference photos. He's like a cool boy, but also an islander, and also a little teasing, and he looks like he would make you crazy. So yeah, that is what I did. I made these little mood boards for my characters, and then after this I could move on in peace. After the characters, I would like to make a book summary, just basically like a trailer for your book. And this is not for sure going to be the thing that you put on the back of your book, like the, I don't know if you call it synopsis or the blurb. I think the real name is called the blurb. This doesn't have to be it. It just has to be a summary for you, so that you can understand what you're writing. And if your book had a trailer, what would the trailer say? That would be your book summary. And here, for example, this is Heartless Game of Chess. The book summary I had is, in a world ruled by merciless elite, survival is nothing more than a gamble. Beneath the surface, hidden from the eyes of the ordinary, exists a twisted game where the wealthy wager not on cards or dice, but on human lives. I am not going to complete the rest, because first, my throat hurts, and second, it's kind of a spoiler. So, like I said, this is for your eyes and your eyes only. This could have spoiler elements in it because you're trying to understand what you want to write. Let's keep going. Next, I like to gather images for my books. This is for Heartless Game of Chess, obviously. And the actual point of Heartless Game of Chess is it is a real life game of chess where the pieces are the actual players. And this is the vibe I'm getting. I want like sort of betrayal. This could be like the lonely guy in the middle trying to escape this. And yeah, like those images would be nice, and I get these all from Pinterest as well. Moving on, this is just a me thing, but I like to write scenes for some of my characters of what I want them to like say at some point, and what I want to happen at some point. This is just the kind of theater kid in me that likes to do this. So this is not needed. It is very optional. But yeah, kind of cringe to be honest, but that's how I like it. I did a couple of these. And I also like adding, while I'm writing the book, I'm obviously don't know what's going to happen in the end. And as I write the book, I get ideas on what I want to put in the book. And here in this document is where I write all that stuff. Like right here in this area, it says add this in the book. Add this person's backstory, how he met this person. Add his backstory, how he met this person. add what happens in the end. No spoiler, I'm trying not to spoil. And add this and add that, add this and add that, you know? So that I can remember all this stuff and then I can add it in the book without forgetting. And then at the very sort of bottom of the book, I write the book summary, a shortened, less spoiled version that I can put on the back of my actual Heartless Game of Chess book. Let me show you example. Here is that part, and then I think it looks bigger, but here is it on the proof copy. Very interesting, very cool. Love it. Love the chess elements I put in there. And yeah, you can read this part if you would like. I would wait. Now, if you're done, let me continue. And yeah, and before I forget, here I also write the ideas for book 3. And you don't have to do this, but after finishing a book, I sometimes, actually all the time, I end up with an idea for the next book that comes after it. Like, it's a never-ending cycle. And before I forget, I always like to write it out in the same document that I had. So basically, if you want to get one thing from this whole video, is write everything, every single idea you have, write it down. In a document, in a notes app, in a Word doc, on a paper, in a notebook. It doesn't matter. Just write everything down, and then you'd be able to create books for yourself or to sell for people to read and love. And yeah, this is my Heartless Game of Chess note document. We're good? We're good. Now that we're done with the ideas of the story and everything, we can now start writing the actual draft. And in this, I like to first write the title in this sort of format on the first page with my name, Rahika Aljanabi. And then I start with chapters. Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4. I like writing the number of my chapters. And if you want to do this, I prefer, first of all, writing this once. This is what I do. I write chapter 1 and then the chapter name, and then I copy this, and every single time I have a chapter, I paste it so that I can have that same format. And if you're wondering what format I use for writing these books, I will show you right now. For line and paragraph spacing, I use the, wait a second, let me get it. For the line and paragraph spacing, I use 1.5. And that's just, I think, what everyone uses, to be honest. And if you're looking to find where you can, and then you can write where to start, what section. This is what I have mine on. So if you want to copy what I did, here's the format for it. I'll wait. And yeah. And then if you are wondering, if you're ever wondering how I make this sort of, I don't know what you call it, this big letter to make it look like an actual book, I'll show you that right now. First, you obviously write the chapter, and then you press here, you go into insert, you click drawing and new, and then here you click actions, and then you click on word art. And let's give a random example. Let's say you want to write the letter R. No, that's an E. R. Okay. So you click enter, and now you have the letter R, but this looks ugly, okay? Make sure to switch the color to black or any color you want, and then you add your font. My font that I use all the time, which is for every single book I've had, is this font. I don't know how to say it, so yeah, El Miseri, I don't know. And then it looks so fancy like this. And then you click save and close, and you're not done yet. The F is kind of messing me up, okay? So we'll ignore that. Then you click this part right here called wrap text. Click that, make sure to click that. And then once you click that, make sure to click the 1/16 margin. And because the F is here and weird, I feel like I should have deleted it, but I like to make this smaller, fill up 3 lines is what I like personally, to fill up 3 lines. And yeah, it kind of looks like for real, but yeah, then you would have this R and you'd be good to go and it'll look fantastic. Now let me delete that. Perfect. Now if you're wondering what font I use and what size I use, it is the Cambria font, but you can use any of these right here. You could possibly use Times New Roman if you want, but I think any of these would be quite nice. And I use the font size 11.5, super specific, but I think I did a lot of research to know this, that lots of people use the 11.5, so I did too. No science behind it, it just, I feel like it's a perfect size, not too big, not too small. Readers can read it and they don't really need to pull out their glasses for it, okay? And we're good. Also, if you want to check what your sort of word count is, I think you go around, where do you go? Yes, you go to tools and then you find your word count, and my word count is, where's my words? It's 47,000. We can round it up to 48,000. And yeah, I don't think it's important, but to many people it is, so just get it out there. Also, if you're wondering, this book right now, without, I guess, all the other stuff, is 438 pages. But I did add a bunch of additional art in it, and for that, like this, I did add this chess pieces, stuff like this, like chess pieces. I will show you how I did that right now. To do that, I like to use my trusty Ibis paint, and by the way, you don't have to pay for this unless you want like additional features, which I never had to pay for it. I could do all this without that. And then I click on this. Here is where I also drew my character Nakoski, the villain Scar, the other character slash villain Kyuko, the other character Elias, and where I drew this checkers thing that I wanted to add. It's also where I draw my thumbnails and sticker ideas. And if you're interested in sticker books, I created a very cute one that I can put customized books in. This is the This Woven Kingdom book. If you haven't read it, go check it out. I literally have it right here. You can't really see it, but it's right there. And yeah, I will pair it with the book that you like, and then the headphones would have the same color. I added a cute bow, cute blush, and everything. That's super cute. And soon I will be putting it up on my store, and you guys can buy it if you guys are book lovers or just want to support me. Yeah, let's go. Have pieces like this be in your book. You have to make sure that it is transparent, first of all. So I drew these individual chess pieces, and believe it or not, I did not draw the blood. The blood, there's a template here that you can search for blood. I think it's right here. You can search for blood and then you can give it. Also, this app has so much templates you could use and so much patterns and everything. This is very helpful, even if you want to design your your book covers, you can use this. I used this for the most part for making my book cover and book designs in the back of my book too. This and Canva is what I use to make my book cover. and the back of my book. Also the designs for here. So yes, I drew the actual black pieces, and I put a sort of transparent mode, which is this one right here, or you can use this one right here. Just make sure to save it as transparent. And then I added the blood on a different tab, and then I just downloaded it. And then if you want to see how I put it on there, let me just get off of here, show you all of it because it kind of makes sense. But I basically just clicked insert, image, upload from computer. Where is it? Insert, image, upload from computer. Once you do, you put it here, and then you just size it whatever way you want, and then you're good. Just make sure that when you download it, it's in transparent. It's transparent so that it can be on the actual page without having a big old bold mark on it as if you copy pasted it. Yeah. So, format writing, we are good. Writing book, I guess we're good. I'll give you guys more tips in another video on how I actually wrote the book, the ideas, the climax, the format. I basically gave you guys the format. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys that if I told this to one of my, I don't know if they're followers, but I told this to one of my people who commented on my book video, that to figure out the style of writing that you want, you have to figure out what books you actually like. If you like books that are poetic, that are more talking about atmospheric, they give you lots of atmospheric details, they make you feel like you're inside the book, and they focus more on that, then you might try and want to write similar to them, if you like them that much. And if you like books that are like chill and fun, and like you can read it fast, and it's like lots of dialogue, lots of like as if you're watching a movie and you're just reading what they're saying, and not too deep, super funny, then you can write books like that. And this is what I wrote. I didn't really focus too much on the atmospheric, detailed Shakespeare writing, because first, I don't really know how to do that, and second, I feel like my vibe is more fun in this. I don't know, it's because I'm not old yet, or because I'm childish, I'm not sure. I just like books like this, okay? And if you are here to judge, please don't. Sometimes you just want to read a light read. And not saying that any of my books are light reads. Actually, if you read them, you might actually get traumatized. In a good way. I think it would be fun. So make sure to check out my book. I'm not me sponsoring myself. Make sure to check out both my books, Heartless Game of Chess and Canyon Within the Fear of Stars. Canyon Within the Fear of Stars is novella and book 1. Very quick read, super short, super tiny. And then Heartless Game of Chess is book 2. This one's a novel, longer, but it's super, super, super fun and exciting. I don't think I've ever seen something similar to this other than, like I said, I don't know, maybe Squid Game or something, or Alice in the Borderland. I feel like I would relate it to that most, but you don't even have to like chess to like this. I'm not even a huge chess person. I did join chess club at like, what, 5th grade? But other than that, I have no like chess experience. I did have to research a lot about this, about what the chess pieces even are, to figure this out. And yeah, it's a very brutal but interesting game where they fight and they are the actual chess pieces. Lots of twists, lots of heartbreaks, lots of betrayal, lots of blood and death, and a horrible, horrible villain that will make you want to rip your hair out. And if you like all that, read the 2-book series that is going to be 3 soon. Now I'm on a short book hiatus, but if this book gets at least 1 sale, then I will consider writing the 3rd book. But for now, my mom is thinking I am a horrible mess for just writing books all the time and drawing. without getting any sales. So if you can, please support this book. And if you can't, maybe just support me by subscribing, commenting, liking my videos, watching even maybe 1 minute of my video, liking my video for no reason. And yeah, anything would help. So now that you have finished writing your book, and this might take a while, now you can come to Kindle Direct Publishing and make an account and create your book or book series to be able to sell it on Amazon and on Kindle. Here are the 2 books I have: the new cover for Kenny Within the Fairy Stars and Heartless Game of Chess, both live, and both of their prices are here. I didn't make a hardcover yet because personally, I don't know if it's just me, but I do not like hardcovers, so I didn't want to do it yet. But if you guys want me to, I will. Okay, I will do it for you guys if you guys are willing to buy it. All right. Another thing to know is once you put your book on here and you finish it and you add the cover and everything, then you can get a proof copy for significantly less, like super little amount. They'll send you a proof copy, not coffee. Now I want some coffee. That has this ugly sort of string around it, but this is for you to read it and make sure there's no mistakes so that you can actually continue with publishing it. And then after that, you can order author copies, and that is a copy that they send you for the author without that ugly random thing in it, and it is also significantly less, and you can order as much as you want. Obviously you have to pay for each one, but very little amount, not the same price that is for everyone else. And yeah, let us say I want to create one so I can show you guys along. First, I like to create my paperback, but you can click whatever one you want first, and I will create paperback. Then here, I don't want to fill it all up, so I'll let you guys do it. Here, I like to add, you have to put your book title, subtitle. And subtitle is basically like, if your title is kind of long, you can write it like this. Like my book is called The Heartless Game of Chess. I will write HGOC is going to be the subtitle. And I don't know why, when you search on Amazon, you have to write HGOC to find my book. I guess it's fine for people who don't want to write a lot, but just make sure that you know that might happen. So you write that, and then you click add to series if your book is going to be part of series. You can do this now or you can do it later. It doesn't matter if you don't think you're gonna have series and you think, oh no, like what if I don't click it now and then I will end up making a series. You can come back and change this and you can add it to a series. Okay. Edition number, I don't even do that because I don't have editions. Okay, it's so sad. And then you add author contributor, which is myself, me, myself, and I, and me, myself, and I, basically. And then for your description is basically, I like, you know, the little summary I made that I put in the back of this book. Yeah, I wrote exactly that on here. And that's what I like doing. Some people like to be extra with it. Some people like to be even simpler with it. But yes. And then you click on the stuff, like I own the copyright of this, because if you're writing it yourself, publishing it yourself, this is yours. Write this information. Does the book's cover and interior contain explicit images? Nope, it does not. And then you have to choose the age you want your readers to be. If your book has lots of things that you don't think younger kids should read, you have to put minimum, like maybe 18 plus. But mine is good. Mine is only lots of like lore and like blood and sort of killing, but it's not a very bad way. So I wrote like maybe, I think I wrote 13 plus. And yeah. Amazon.com, if you are in America, you can change it to any different one if you're somewhere else. Let me answer this first so they can make it continue. Then you write your keywords in. For this, you can write something like, if it's a fantasy book, write fantasy book, write fairies, write enemies to lovers, write dystopian if you want dystopian, write action, adventure, found family, I don't know, what else is there? Friends to lovers, thrillers, mafia romance, anything like that. All of the keywords that you have in your head, like, write it on here. And then that would also help your readers find you. I wrote publication date and release date are the same, so that means that once I publish this, then it goes on the internet right away. And if I want it to be scheduled, then I can schedule my book to whatever day I want. But I'll just click this for now. Let's save and continue if they let us. They're not letting me continue, so I'm going to tell you guys what is going to be in each of these, because for some reason I remember it eternally. Maybe because it took me forever to do this. Paperback content is going to be the part where you first add your downloaded manuscript, which is document. You download the document and you add it on here. Then it is the cover. You download your cover and you add it here. And for the cover, based on the size you want your book to be and how many pages your book is, they can create a template for you to make your book cover. So you can use that and make your book cover. Book cover, I think, to be honest with you, is probably the hardest thing to get right. And still, I don't even know if I got it right, so I kind of gave up with that. But yeah, that will be on there. I'll show you how I did it over there. But what else is in here? What else is in here is whether you want your pages to be sort of white or you want them to be like a cream color. And if you want your pages to include color, or you want it to just be black and white. I decided to make it include color, which is why it's probably maybe a little bit more expensive. Mostly because I wanted you guys to see the blood dots on it, or blood splatters, I would like to say. So I can make it a little more interesting, if I could say so myself. But also, I think you can, after putting all those information, you can click preview and it will make you preview what the book will look like. So you can see if the cover is correct, if the pages and chapters are correct, if you like how it looks like. And if you don't, you just go back to the page, fix whatever, preview it again until you like it, until you like it. This part, I would like to tell you, warning, it probably takes the longest. Not trying to scare you or anything, I'm just trying to warn you guys, okay? And that is fine. At the end of it all, you will get a wonderful book that you can read physically in your hands. And then it will be all worth it. So yeah, that is the paperback content. And then after that, it is the paperback rights and pricing, which is basically you pricing your work, how much you want it to be priced. They have a minimum pricing, like you can't make it less than this amount. So that helps you figure out how much you want to price it. I think the lower the better, because book readers are kind of broke these days and they want books that are cheaper. I tried my best to make Heartless Game of Chess book cheaper than the $25 it is, the paperback version, $25, but it is a very big book, 460 pages. The inside has colors and it has drawings on it. So $25 was basically the least amount I can do, while also getting barely $1 profit. And if you're wondering, oh, like, they don't even give you that much money, I know, I'm sure there's a better place. But if you want to go and try beginning Kindle Direct Publishing, then this is a good way to start, even if you just want to get a copy of your book and then never sell it ever again. you could do that as well. Up to you. So that is that. And after that, you would just click submit, and then they will preview it. It might take 72 hours, 2 days. Wait, was that 2 days? I'm not sure. It might take 24 hours. It depends on how fast the people you're working with are. But let us go to Canva, which I compare with, what is it called, Ibis Paint, to make my book covers. Here's how they look. Here's Kenny Within the Fear Stars, and here's Heartless Game of Chess. Did lots of book covers for these, lots and lots and lots, until I decided on the sort of final one. And for this, I just use the features they have. To be honest with this, you can play around with it. There is no specific way on how to make your cover. You can make it a drawing, you can make it a mix of like templates that you found on Canva. You can add lots of things. Just make it similar to what your book is going to be about. Heartless Game of Chess, I put pieces of chess kneeling to the king, which is a spoiler because it is something part of the book. A little red horse piece, which is the knight piece on the side, which is also a spoiler for the book-ish. It has meaning, definitely. You just have to read it to figure it out. And then lots of blood. Chess pieces are bloody. So yeah, I think you could do 3 things. You could make the design yourself, have someone design it for you, use templates and things you find on Canva to help you. You could use a sort of design maker that can make it, but also add your own elements in it, add your own titles, add your own sky design, colors, your backdrop, stuff like that. And then you can make it like this. Are we good? Yeah, we're good. If you're still here, thank you for watching till the very end. And I hope this video was helpful, at least to tell you guys how to write, no, not how to write, how to publish it through Kindle Direct Publishing as a paper copy and a Kindle. If you have questions, make sure to comment them down below, and I could, if there is possibly more than a couple questions, I could either answer them on there, or I could make a video with more details about this, because I for sure did not add everything, and I do want to make another video on how I actually wrote the book and the formats I did, like chapter formats, the climax, or how I created the plot for it to still be interesting throughout the whole entire book. And yeah, make sure to check out first Candy Within the Fear of Stars, and then second Heartless Game of Chess, and then both of them. Make sure to read them, and I hope you love them. If you've already bought them, let me know in the comments. I really would like to know if you bought them yet. And if you haven't bought it yet, please do, or please put it in your cart to support a young author and writer and artist and everything, basically. Just support me in general, please. Please, I am a artist, writer, trying to do stuff as a self-publisher, and yeah, I hope one day, at least my book, Heartless Game of Chess, could be a bestseller, and I could make more books with interesting concepts like this, turn more games into real life fight to death battleground missions. I don't know what all that did. Turn these stuff into survival games. I am interested in making a... What am I interested in making? Maybe dominoes. I can make a real life dominoes game. Or I'm also interested in making Uno, a real life Uno game, but deadly. I don't know, maybe I have trauma, guys, but deadly games are my interest right now. And if you have book ideas, maybe one day I can choose one of you guys' book ideas and make a book from your idea. Super ambitious project. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that, but I will definitely try. I've been seeing that my YouTube videos, my actual videos, are not really getting that much views. My shorts are fine, they're like building up every day, but my YouTube videos are not. And I would be very, very glad if you guys would watch on every single account you have. I'm kidding, guys. Or not. But yeah, make sure to check out my books. Oops. And let me know if you like the book. Message me personally. I have an Instagram, TikTok, I have a YouTube, I'm literally everywhere. You can message me on there, or you can comment on here how you think about the book. Please, no hate. Still, I'm not a professional author, but I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl trying to write a book because it's one of my hobbies and one of my passions. I'm trying to live the childhood dream that I've always had, which is writing my book. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.